Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie, aka Rick here, bringing you part 40 of my GTA4 Let's Play. So, in this episode, as you can see, I'm basically following Bernie while he's going for his jog, because he's worried that these people are going to, jump out on him and beat him up, because they have done before, just because of the fact that he's gay. So yeah, he eventually does get jumped as we go under the bridge in a minute, and I have to take all the people down, basically try and beat him up. So it's quite eventful, little chase around the park on a moped, I think it is. So it's pretty cool. And then after that I go see Bernie again for another mission, and him and his boyfriend are being blackmailed. His boyfriend's like some government person, so he's quite, it's quite an important role in the community and stuff. So if it was found out that he was gay, since he praises like family men and everything, it would kind of ruin his chance at getting anywhere with his career. So obviously we've got to stop this blackmail from happening, and so we go to meet these the messengers for the blackmailer, and it turns out that Dimitri's actually doing it. So we chase down the blackmailers, or the messengers, and end up taking them out, so that goes well. And then go and do a little assassination mission. I haven't done many of these yet. They'll be in one of the videos like coming up soon. There's quite a lot of them in. I think I'll do about 3 or 4 in one video. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty easy though. I mean, this one I drive to the place and literally like one RPG finishes it up. But you have to take someone out. If you didn't have an RPG, obviously it'd be a lot more difficult. So kind of makes it a bit easier for me. But anyway, so I do that. It's really simple. And then I go and see Pegorino again. So it's one of the last missions I do for him. And he's, they're having an argument when I get there, Ray, Phil and him, about everything that's happening. He sends them away and then speaks to me. He's like, he doesn't know who to take out. He's like, obviously, he wants to get rid of one of them, just to show that he's not like, he's not to be messed with or anything. So he's not sure which one he's going to take out yet. So he's going to phone me once he's made his decision. He sends me on my way, and that phone call comes in, I think, the next episode. So look forward to that. I'm not going to tell you who he chooses yet, but you'll find out soon. So that's what happens in the video. Just like to say, I've got 10 videos left, I think it is. No, 11, including this one. It's 11. So of GTA. That's going to run up till August the 26th, I think it is. So after that, it'll be like, that's a Friday, August 26th. So the Monday after that will be when you'll get the next series. And I still haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but yeah, we'll see. When the time comes, we'll make a decision. So I mean, it's pretty good. It's quite a lot. This GTA series has lasted a long time. So see, the first video I ever made was on GTA4. So that's a good. It's 50 episodes in total, the series. So it's quite a good length for a little Let's Play series. And hopefully the next one will be as long and as good as this one has been so far. So look forward to that in a couple of months' time. So yes, over with the introduction. In this video I'm going to be talking about brain training. I know it sounds a bit of a weird topic, but it's important as a gamer that you do other stuff as well, other than just like sit in front of your computer or Xbox or whatever, and just constantly play either one game that you really love, or a couple of games that you really enjoy. It's important to do other activities as well as that. Otherwise, you won't be as healthy. I mean, it won't directly link to anything, really, but it's better to keep your brain active. You'll remember stuff better. You can train your brain to learn more things. You can be, a cleverer person. You can have a bigger vocabulary. So when you're actually talking to people, if you ever do that. But yeah, when you talk to people, you sound more intelligent. You can bring your point across better. You can explain yourself clearer. It's just general everyday use. Everyday things will become a little bit easier if you try and keep your brain active. And then yes, it makes. I mean, it's not vital, obviously. Some people give up education as soon as they leave school and don't really touch on it ever again, but personally I prefer to do puzzles and stuff like every day, try and keep my brain, alert. So, just so I have a bit of time off from gaming as well, which is really important, I think. There obviously are some games that that are, I wouldn't say good for you, but use your brain a bit more than others. Like obviously, you've got Call of Duty, you're just mindlessly killing the same people over and over again. That's not incredibly difficult. You don't really have to think about it too much. Whereas a game like Portal, for example, is one of the better games for your brain, really, because the puzzles are quite advanced. Obviously, the first time you do it, and the second time not so much. But on the first playthrough, you use your brain quite a lot because you're trying to figure out what to do. And in general, that is good for you. Like figuring things out. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So if you if you play puzzle games a lot, then obviously you're naturally going to get better at them. So that's advanced your brain a little bit, hasn't it? So that's a good thing. And Portal's one of the few. I mean, Peggle is another example. It's a pretty simple game, but you've got to try and think about where your shots are going and everything. If you've never played Peggle, it's an incredibly addictive puzzle game, and I would recommend buying it. But yeah. So another one I think of, obviously StarCraft is one of my favourite games, and it uses your brain a hell of a lot. I mean, once you get high level, it's kind of muscle memory, and you kind of know what's happening. But at a lower level, you have to try and figure out what you're doing. Like, because say you're doing this normal build that you do, say it's like a 2 racks opening, but your opponent's done something that would make that a lot weaker. Then obviously you need to counter it, and then you're going through what units you can build, what units you can get out in time, and you make that quick decision and try and counter it. Obviously you've got to react fast, and you're using your brain, thinking about what you could do. So that's quite good. I mean, it's one of the better games that you can play for using your brain a lot. To be honest, people like the professionals, obviously, they use their brain a hell of a lot, because every time something happens, they think of something else. Say they go into a battle and it doesn't turn out how they wanted. As soon as that happens, they're already thinking about what they can do to bring themselves back into the game. So I mean, in a competitive environment, obviously it's a lot of thinking, a lot of figuring out what to do, a lot of fast reactions and stuff. So it is super helpful to train your brain so it remembers more things. Obviously, the more you use your brain, the more it can do, the more it can remember. So if you just sit there vegging out, saying playing COD all day, don't do anything, and then you try and jump on StarCraft, and you're trying to figure out all this stuff, it won't be as easy. I mean, it depends if you're a natural gamer or not, but it won't be as easy as if someone who figures out puzzles all the time and uses their brain, keeps it active, because then you will naturally be able to figure things out quicker than a person who doesn't, who just sits there, vegging out on the sofa for like 10 hours a day playing COD or something. So I'm not saying COD's bad. I mean, it's not the best game to play brain-wise, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. So I won't say that don't play it. I'm just saying, do other things as well. Don't just concentrate on one thing at a time. Well, not one thing at a time, but don't concentrate on doing one thing all day, every day, because it's pretty bad for you. And having a routine as well, it's kind of, it's not super important, but a lot of people find it easier to function if they have a certain routine. Say you get up at a certain time and you go to work at a certain time or whatever. You kind of do similar things at similar times of the day, so it's easier to plan your days. You know what you're doing, you know where you are, all that kind of stuff. So. And then you can figure out what spare time you've got and how you use it as well. I find it super useful to actually figure out what I'm doing and when, because I go to work, it's not the same time every day, so that's a bit annoying, but I go to work and then I think, right, so I get home at this time, I've got this amount of time, does a video need doing? If it doesn't, do I need to record for another video? You know, if I don't, then I can, you know, have some free time to myself. You know, play a bit of like World of Warcraft or something like that. You know, have a bit of fun. So it's always helpful to have a routine as well. As trying to use your brain a lot.
You know what? Maybe
Some other games that or other puzzles and things that I find helpful. Crosswords, to be honest. I know some people, you know, think of crosswords, think of like older people, you know, sitting in their armchairs at home with their newspaper doing a crossword, you know, something like that. I mean, that's a fair enough like stereotype, I suppose, because both my grandparents do that, but that's not the point. I mean, if you do crosswords, you know, you learn more language, I'd say. Obviously, in some crosswords, the same thing comes up more than once. Like, you know, not the same crossword, but in another crossword that you've done before, you know, it might have a similar question. So you'll be able to work that out. And also, it broadens your vocabulary as well, which I think is really important. Because obviously, you talk to people in real life. You know, you have to communicate with people. Yeah, like say you go for a job interview, and you actually can use, you know, better words. You can maybe put your point across better. You can answer a question they ask you better, because, you know, I'm not saying that people who don't do crosswords are stupid. I'm just saying that you learn more words and like, you know, the meaning of words. Sometimes I've done this before. I've used words that maybe I've heard people say in the context, but I don't exactly know what they mean. So, you know, I mean, with crosswords you kind of figure out, because it's got the clue and the answer. So maybe you think, yeah, that looks like that word fits, but, you know, maybe it shouldn't. You know, maybe it doesn't sound right to you because you don't actually know the meaning of it, but then you find out it is right, and then, you know, you've learnt something. Because, you know, learning words and broadening your vocabulary is, you know, you can't really do it enough, I don't think. You can always learn something new. So obviously, you can't really go through life having basic vocabulary if you want to get anywhere. So I want to go to university, so I think it's really important that obviously, so I'm writing something for university, maybe an application, you know, whatever. Maybe it's a bit of work for university. I mean, the more words you know, the better you can explain something. So you've got a task where you've got to explain, you know, a certain program or something like, you know, something that seems really random and, you know, you wouldn't think that you could learn about by doing crosswords, but there might be a certain word that would suit it better than a word you use, you know, to explain something. It's you know, it's hard to put across, like, to you what my opinion on this, because, you know, some people don't think that it makes any difference. You know, some people say you either are intelligent or you're not, but I don't think that's perfectly true. I think that sometimes you can improve a lot, like vastly. Some people obviously think that, you know, you're not, if you know, you're either an A student or you're not, you know, you can't start the year off being like a D student and suddenly become, you know, that A grade student. But I think if you put enough effort in, you know, you worked hard enough, you actually could do that. So I think everyone's got the brain power to do it. It's just whether they, you know, some people have to try harder than others maybe to actually be able to, you know, perform to that, you know, a bit higher level. I think it is possible for all of us. So another thing, Sudoku. So I think it's like a Japanese or Chinese puzzle. It's quite simple. It's just basic numbers, you know. You're not allowed the same number in the square, like the same 3x3 square, and you're not allowed the same number in the row. So, you know, it's 1 to 9, but you've obviously got 1 to 9 on each row, vertically and horizontally, and you've got 1 to 9 in each of the 4 little squares, like the 3x3 square. So it's pretty simple, it seems, but, you know, you've kind of got to figure out, so you've got 2 squares where this one number could go. You've got to look around the rest of it and see if it will clash anywhere else. It kind of takes a little bit of, you know, a little bit of practice. I mean, the easy ones, there's not really many places where you need to try and figure that sort of stuff out. It's normally there's always one number you can put in definitely 100% all the time. But some of the, once you get more, you know, advanced, you know, the higher level ones, there's normally a couple where you need to
Here
try and
we
think a
are.
bit further ahead and
Look
along
after
the puzzle
yourself,
to try and
yeah?
work out
I hope the matron and
what
people
you actually,
back
you know,
off
what you
now.
actually need to put in there.
Thank
So
you so much,
I think that as
Nico.
well keeps your
I'll speak to you
keeps your
soon.
brain active, definitely. And probably the best, or supposedly the best game for keeping your brain active would be the brain training for the DS. I think it's like Dr. Kawashima or something. I used to do it all the time, but you know, I've stopped recently because I don't really play my DS that much, seeing as the screen broke, so I can't really play it at the moment. But I think it is actually good for you, because obviously as I kept doing it, I saw my scores go up and up all the time, which is obviously what you should happen eventually.
Alder Avenue.
So,
Drive.
Cool. I'll take
you know,
the
I
long
think
way.
if you play that game, it's not just like the same subject. There's different aspects of it, like there's addition, multiplication, all that
Here we
sort of
go.
stuff, like
Tip,
quick maths.
please.
Thank you.
I was pretty decent at that. And then there was some like observational things, like you've got like this little house and there's people going in it and coming out of it, and you've got to try and remember how many people are in the house. So say at the start you've got like 4 people go in it, so then there's 4 in there, and then say 1
Hey,
comes
done
out,
any
so then
work
there's
for me?
3, and then another like 4 or 5 come in, so then you got to keep in your brain, you've got to keep that number in your head, and at the end you've got to basically say how many there are. And obviously as it gets, you know, get more advanced in it, you keep doing the same puzzle, you get unlock higher levels of it, and you know, the people come in and out quicker, so you've got to be adding and subtracting the people a lot quicker. So you know, it trains your brain to think faster, which is probably the most important thing. It's like, this is going to be a horrendous metaphor, but it's like a hard drive really in a computer. It's basically the best way of like explaining it, because you get a hard drive that's got like a low cache or a low like read speed.
Take me to Rand Avenue. You
It's
got
not going to find your information quick enough. Or say you've got a hard drive that hasn't been defragged in a while. The bits of information are going to be all over the place, and you know, you're going to have to, you know, it's going to take ages to find exactly what you're after. Whereas if you know, defrag it, it's got a higher read speed, it's got a higher cache, it can pick things out a lot quicker, and it can access them a lot quicker, which is exactly the same really as your brain. The more you do something, the easier it is for you to think about an answer to it, or you know, to figure out the puzzle in general. So I definitely recommend. You know, that's why with games as well, if you keep playing the same game, it will naturally come easier to you. Like in WoW, if someone's been playing the same class for years and years and years and years, they're going to be amazing at that. They're going to know exactly what to do in a certain situation, whereas someone who's just come to the class may not know that. That's half the problem with the game at the moment, but just saying. Obviously, because they've done it so much, it's in their brain exactly what to do at a certain point. Say they're running low on mana as a mage, what do you do? Am I in battle? You know, do I need to be moving? Well, you know, if you do, you can use a mana potion. You can, if you're a blood elf, use their mana tap, or you can use your mana gem. That's like instant mana back. If you don't need to move and you can quite safely stay on the spot for a good 10 seconds, obviously you can evocate. If you're out of combat, then obviously you can eat or drink. So you know, that's just one situation where you know, you use your brain to you know, solve a situation. Another one, say, and mobs casting a spell. Have you got your interrupt on cooldown? Has anyone else in your party got their interrupt on cooldown? If not, like if they are all on cooldown, then obviously you're going to use yours. Normally you organise that before the fight, but maybe, you know, you're not, you're just in a pub, you're just running for an instance, and you think, you know, you should just do that. Or there's a group of mobs in front of you, like the tank's going to pull. Maybe one of them is a caster and he's away from the group. What do? You know, you just polymorph it. It's quite simple things, but to a beginner mage, they're kind of concentrating on doing their damage, which is obviously the most important bit. But as you play your class more, you can develop the things that maybe you wouldn't think about when you're first playing it. So I think training, like repeating the same things, is important, but also varying what you're doing is important as well. So I think doing something each day is really important, but not exactly the same. Or if you do it for a short amount of time, you don't want to do the same thing for 5 hours a day. But
Police
then
are
again,
all
you don't
over
want
us.
to. You know,
Maybe
you want to do
heard.
it
I got
maybe
served papers today.
for 15 minutes.
Phil,
I do a
yesterday,
crossword every day, or try to.
we got a
Sometimes
couple
I
of boys
can't,
in jail.
I forget
I
to
think
do
they
it or
might
something.
squeal.
But that's good
Somebody's
15, 20
talking.
minutes a
What's
day
this
that
out of the
I do on
picture?
that. And then on my
Maybe
lunch
John
breaks at work,
Gravelli.
I pull out my
Or them
iPhone,
Angelottis.
do some Sudokus or something,
Somebody got
and
to
then
my
play some
people.
games, maybe listen to some music. But
to do about it?
I'm always doing
I
that
don't
thing
know.
most days.
I gotta shut someone
So,
up and show people I mean
I
business.
think over time you will get better.
I've known Phil a long time. He's
But as a
straight,
gamer,
more
I
or
think it's
less.
even more important
I know him and Angie are
to
friends.
do
That
things
don't
like this,
worry
maybe
me too much.
crosswords, Sudokus, all that sort of stuff.
Maybe
because
he's too straight.
The more because you want to play that game
Then
all the
there's
time, your
Ray.
brain's not hugely active. It just,
I don't know.
it stores
I don't
it
trust him.
in there,
But he's
and
a good
it's more of
earner.
a memory than
I
the
know
actual
he's got
brain
his
usage
eye
in
on
the
the
end.
big prize.
Because you've
But
done
he's
it so
no
much,
dummy.
you just know what to do instantly.
Him
It's
and Phil
not
hate each other.
you haven't got to work anything out anymore.
I gotta
So
think about
I think
it.
variety is
Okay.
definitely a good thing.
I'll give you a call.
And if you
Whoever
do
I
want to
say
play
to
that game
go see
really
him.
often,
And shut him
and
up.
just when you're not playing it, maybe think about doing something else, or actually do something else. It's up to you. I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you want to do, you play what you want to play. But that's just my opinion on keeping your brain active and not getting burnt out on gaming. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.